exciting, to the extreme. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 extreme sports movies.
Jones off the wall and extending his lead as he moves into the Mojo.
For this list, we're looking at movies that heavily feature extreme sports in one way or another. Racing films like Rush were not up for consideration, as they could make the basis for another list on another day.
Landers offline! He runs wide onto the grass!
But documentaries are eligible. We will be talking about the plots of the films, so this is your spoiler alert.
That wave was huge. I wouldn't have gone.
She was perfectly positioned on the wave. She would have had the balls to really charge it.
Number 10, Rad. Think being a student is hard? Try being a student and a BMX racer that's got to decide whether to take his SATs or to take the chance to win fame and fortune in the Hell Track qualifying races. Since this list is about extreme sports movies, we're sure you can guess what choice protagonist Crew Jones makes.
Who can say what stroke of luck might strike today with you?
However, thanks to the two-faced president of the Federation of American Bicyclists, Crew's got a ton of obstacles to overcome before he can finally participate. And while critics may have hated the sports drama, audiences loved it. And that's in no small part due to the thrilling freestyle bike stunts, which Rad showcases both on and off the track.
Give it to Jones. Crew Jones wins it.
Number 9, Blue Crush.
So that's pretty awesome, you know, surfing.
Right.
Humanity is capable of a great many beautiful things, but this big screen combination of several attractive actresses with what might be the most spiritual of sports may just make the top 10 of such a list. Unlike many previous major motion pictures featuring the sport, this movie took great efforts to ensure the surfing we saw appeared legitimate.
Just be patient. Don't get too anxious. It's 4-wave sets with 20-second intervals. Take your time.
Portraying the strength of everyone who tries his or her hand at the sport, and the extra uphill climb women sometimes face in that world, Blue Crush clearly sought to get it right.
Sets her rail, makes the drop textbook. Oh.
And the fact that it doubled its budget at the box office proved it.
What's up, surfer girl? Do the damn thing.
Number 8, Cliffhanger.
Gabe? Gabe, where are you?
It should be every filmmaker's greatest hope that he or she can portray a fraction of the emotion this movie's opening moments encompass.
Oh, God!
Beginning with the untimely death of a woman who depends on the aid of our hero to ensure her survival. This action-adventure flick immediately hooks us with the brief moment in which Sarah's glove has ripped off, but she hasn't yet begun to fall. The suspense here is utterly excruciating. And years later, when Sylvester Stallone's Gabe stands against a group of criminals, it's his mountain climbing abilities that set him against his adversaries.
Go fetch, Wonder Dog.
While not perfectly accurate to the sport, Cliffhanger is engaging enough to let us overlook its flaws, as its critical and commercial success demonstrated.
This rope is 60 years old. Will it hold?
Don't think so.
Oh, bad answer.
Number 7, Whip It.
Little piece of advice, Bliss. Don't fall for your regional manager and think that he's not going to give you crabs because he cheated on you. Because it happens.
Ellen Page is not the actress that instantly comes to mind when you think of the word extreme. But in this comedy drama, she does a magnificent job of taking part in a sport that fits the word perfectly.
Congratulations, you still suck. Celebrate mediocrity, that's fantastic.
Directed by Drew Barrymore in what is Barrymore's first ever full-length feature as a director, Whip It is evidence that the famous actress should try her hand again in the role of filmmaker.
Oh, they gave it a whip! You wanted it, they gave it to you, folks! You've been whipped!
Putting on a pair of roller skates and traveling in a concentric circle may seem innocent enough, But after seeing these gifted on-screen athletes, we think sitting in the spectator seats may be the more appealing option.
I don't want to beat your ass with rumors. I want to beat your ass on the track with my skates.
Number 6. Everest.
You, my friends, are following in the very footsteps of history.
With a cast including the likes of John Hawkes, Robin Wright, Keira Knightley, Emily Watson, and Jake Gyllenhaal, it shouldn't be surprising that this mountain climbing film stood out.
Human beings simply aren't built to function at the cruising altitude of a 747. Our bodies will be literally dying. Everest is another beast altogether.
Featuring multiple expeditions to our planet's most famous peak, which is an amazing feat all its own. This tale of adventure soon turns into one of survival, and one that strikes at humanity's core.
They see a regular guy can follow impossible dreams, maybe they'll do the same.
Cited by critics for its impressive visuals, Everest arguably brought the actual sport of mountain climbing to life better than ever before.
We're all getting down together, now let's go!
Number 5. Dogtown and Z-Boys.
People were really living in the moment. There were no goals, there were no aspirations.
When the Zephyr skateboard team, or Z-Boys, was first introduced to the skateboarding world as a whole, they brought a rebellious and beautiful spirit to it that hadn't been seen before.
It didn't seem like they were a part of the rest of skateboarding. It seemed like they had their own thing going on.
The tale of this troubled troupe of adolescents that changed the sport forever was adapted into the film Lords of Dogtown in 2005. But it's this documentary, Dogtown and Z-Boys, directed by one of the Z-Boys' preeminent members, Stacy Peralta, that tells the story in a way only an insider could, thanks to the level of access his peers granted him.
Once pool riding came in, that's like all that we wanted to do.
Number 4. Touching the Void.
We were thinking, bloody hell, I'm going to die to Boney M.
Included in PBS's list of the greatest documentaries ever made, this film won a BAFTA for Best British Film and beat out far more famous movies in doing so.
You've got to make decisions. You've got to keep making decisions, even if they're wrong decisions. If you don't make decisions, you're stuffed.
By focusing on two men who summit a mountain in the Peruvian Andes, by taking a route that had never previously been conquered, only to find themselves in a battle of life and death on the way down, this film is not to be missed.
There's just a horrible feeling of dread. By this stage, I strongly felt that Joe had been killed the previous day, and that now I was going to die as some sort of form of, retribution.
Climaxing when one of the climbers is forced to choose between risking his own survival to save his compatriot or to cut him loose. The mountaineering movie had the stakes set high, with its rewards even greater.
I'm going to be doing well if either of us get out of this now.
Number 3. The Walk. When you combine the ample acting ability and charisma of Joseph Gordon-Levitt with truly amazing effects brought to beautiful life in glorious 3D, the results truly amaze. Based on the story of famed artist Philippe Petit and his tightrope walk between the World Trade Center's Twin Towers that was previously introduced to audiences through the Man on Wire documentary, this story was ready-made for Hollywood. Off a feat that would terrify nearly anyone to his or her very core, and on a very important landmark no less. Robert Zemeckis' film is an impressive balancing act unto itself. Number 2. Riding Giants.
If you make haste in a takeoff, your odds of you making that wave are very low.
Another film directed by Z-Boy Stacy Peralta. This documentary takes all of the skill and artistry he learned while bringing his skating team's past to celluloid and perfects it.
He wanted to ride the biggest wave that anybody had ever ridden.
He turns photographs into moving moments of life and brings together one of the most entertaining stories of big wave surfers to glorious fruition. Meaning every second of this film is a treasure.
So I reach around and grab my leash and climb it back to the top, back to the surface.
Watching an unparalleled specimen like Laird Hamilton being towed into cascading water of incredible heights without flinching is tantamount to a religious experience.
In August of 2000, Hamilton took another giant leap by riding a wave so treacherous and so outrageous that it affected the course of big wave surfing history.
Whether you're a surfboard veteran or a virgin, the danger and storytelling of riding giants is likely to entertain everyone.
Today's the day.
Before we reveal our number one pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Athletes are used to winning because they're exercising their strengths. So all of a sudden, when they are left without their strength, they have to explore their weakness.
Number 1, Point Break.
Vaya con Dios.
Surfers, skydivers, and bank robbers. The men in this early 90s classic may be two-bit criminals, but the lives they lead still look plain awesome.
You want the ultimate, you gotta be willing to pay the ultimate price. It's not tragic to die doing what you love.
Not pulling a single punch throughout, the cast of this action crime thriller gives their all, and the results include some incredibly entertaining moments, such as Keanu Reeves' Johnny Utah exclaiming his FBI status in fittingly awesome manner.
I am an FBI agent!
But it's the moments when Bodie and his thrill-seeking gang show off their surfing moves by risking everything they have with every trick and maneuver they attempt that land Point Break in this spot. Then there's the previously mentioned but still incredible skydiving scenes, as well as the heart-pumping bank robbery scenes. And you've got a film that really encompasses the spirit of extreme sports and action at its very core. 100% pure adrenaline.
Special Agent Utah. I knew I could count on you.
Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite extreme sports movie?
Located on Maui's remote north coast and requiring a long, dangerous approach by sea is Piahi, also known as Jaws.
For more crazy top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.